Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nishidhyamana patibir Braturbir Bandhubi Sutai Bhagavat Yuttama Shloke Dirga Shruta Drita Shayaha Yamuno Pavane Shoka Navapala Vamandite Vicharantam Vritam Gopai Sagrajam Dadarshu Striyaha. So we will read now the translation. Although their husbands, brothers, sons, and other relatives tried to forbid them from going, their hope of seeing Krishna, cultivated by extensive hearing of his transcendental qualities, won out. Along the river Yamuna, within a garden decorated with buds of Ashoka trees, they caught sight of him, strolling along in the company of the cowherd boys and his elder brother Balaram. Next verse. Shamam hiranya paridim vanamalya barha datu pravala nattavesham anavratam se vinyasta hastam ittarena dunanam abjam karnot palalaka kapola mukabja hasam. Translation. His complexion was dark blue and his garment golden. Wearing a peacock feather, colored minerals, sprigs of flower buds, and a garland of forest flowers and leaves, he was dressed just like a dramatic dancer. He rested one hand upon the shoulder of a friend and with the other twirled a lotus. Lilies graced his ears, his hair hung down over his cheeks, and his lotus-like face was smiling. O ruler of men, for a long time, those Brahmana ladies had heard about Krishna, their beloved, and his glories had become the constant ornaments of their ears. Indeed, their minds were always absorbed in him. Through the apertures of their eyes, they now forced him to enter within their hearts, and then they embraced him within for a long time. In this way, they finally gave up the pain of separation from him, just as sages give up the anxiety of false ego by embracing their innermost consciousness. Lord Krishna, who witnesses the thoughts of all creatures, understood how those ladies had abandoned all worldly hopes and come there simply to see him. Thus he addressed them as follows, with a smile upon his face. Lord Krishna said, "Welcome, O most fortunate ladies. Please sit down and make yourselves comfortable. What can I do for you? That you have come here to see me is most appropriate." Purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Just as Sri Krishna welcomed the gopis who came to dance with him at night, he similarly welcomed the Brahmana's wives, whose pure love for him was proved by their overcoming many hindrances to see the Lord. The word upapanam indicates that although these ladies had rejected their husband's orders, their behavior was not at all appropriate, since their husbands had obviously tried to obstruct their loving service to Lord Krishna. So we'll offer some prayers, invocation, seeking mercy of our teachers, of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Krishna, of all of the great souls, all of the devotees. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nite Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari. Okay, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining this morning and eager to share this morning from these beautiful verses and to engage in our discussion and enliven each other in this way. So before we begin, I just would like to sincerely pray to each and every one of you to please offer your blessings, well wishes. Senior Vaishnavas here like Adipurusha Prabhu, Arjuna Prabhu, Nandaloka Prabhu, so many wonderful devotees joining, and each and every one of you, that we can have an uplifting, meaningful discussion this morning that is pleasing to Srila Prabhupada, pleasing to Krishna, and will give us inspiration on the spiritual path. So I'll just briefly bring up my notes here. Sorry about that. Okay. So we have these wonderful, wonderful verses of the wives of the Brahmanas as they are approaching Krishna. And we hear so much. We hear so much about Krishna, his beautiful appearance, his attitude and mood toward the wives of the Brahmanas. And we also hear about the wives of the Brahmanas, the way that they have surrendered to Krishna, the way that by hearing about him, he has already taken up residence in their hearts. So this shows us in many ways the power and the necessity of Shravanam, of hearing the glories of the Lord. We know with the 9 processes of bhakti, begins with Shravanam, begins with hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So by hearing these beautiful pastimes of the Lord, we can't help but to be captured by the beauty of these descriptions, the beauty of Krishna's ways with the devotees, his ways of killing demons, his ways of going throughout all of his loving pastimes with the Brajvasis. And also just by hearing in this way, we are given so much more of a deep impression of the Lord, of his appearance even. So nicely in this verse. Here, I'll just go back to our verses from this morning. So beautiful to envision. So along the river Yamuna, within a garden decorated with buds of Ashoka trees, they caught sight of him strolling along in the company of the cowherd boys and his elder brother, Balaram. And the wives of the Brahmanas are approaching Krishna despite the objections of their husbands, brothers, sons, and other relatives. So this is devotion that, as explained in that purport, that they overcome any hindrances, any obstacles that may be there, obstructing their devotion, because ultimately nothing can obstruct bhakti. Bhakti is completely independent, and bhakti can overcome any obstacles because we can say that our nature is to serve. So just as the nature of salt is to be salty, just as the nature of sugar is to be sweet, nature of water is to flow and be wet. So in this way, our nature is to serve. So if one has developed a loving attraction toward devotional service, then the reality is that nothing can actually stand in the way of that. Even, we can say, our own conditioning. We may see our own conditioning as an obstacle in devotional service, and surely in the short term, it can be. But the only way that our conditioning can really lead us astray on the spiritual path is if we allow that conditioning to amount to aparad, to making offenses toward devotees. Then in that way, we may be severely, severely checked in our spiritual lives. But other than that, we can say that it's really just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before our engagement in devotional service, our engagement in hearing the pastimes of Krishna will capture our hearts to the extent that we are fixed in spiritual life. And that also comes very much related to the mercy of the devotees, the mercy of those around us who wish us well in spiritual life. So we see here that this beautiful description, right? His complexion was dark blue and his garment golden, wearing a peacock feather, colored minerals, sprigs of flower buds, and a garland of forest flowers and leaves. He was dressed just like a dramatic dancer. Right? So beautiful to hear this detailed description. We're so fortunate in these shastras giving us such a glimpse into these fine details of the appearance of the Lord so that our hearts can connect with these descriptions. And of course, in our mind's eye, we're envisioning, and through the beautiful paintings that devotees have created, which Srila Prabhupada said are like windows to the spiritual world, we're able to meditate on the transcendental appearance of the Lord. So, through hearing, the wives of the Brahmanas, they are absorbed in Krishna. And it's incredible here how it says, through the apertures of their eyes, they now forced him to enter within their hearts, and they embraced him within for a long time. So what does this tell us about the interactions between Krishna and his pure devotees? When they say they forced him to enter within their hearts. So by this, we can understand that actually bhakti has persuasive power over Krishna. That Krishna, although he's completely independent, although he's the supreme controller, Ishvara, he allows himself, we can say, to be controlled by the devotion of his pure devotees. He's overcome. And of course, it's voluntary for him, but this is how it is. This is how he chooses to engage with the devotees, that he allows himself to be overcome and to be controlled by their love. So when Lord Krishna addresses them, he has a smile upon his face. So not that when the cowherd, when the wives of the brahmanas or when the gopis approach Krishna, that he is cool and that he is expectant of, oh yes, of course you've approached me because I'm the Supreme Lord. That's not his mood. That's not his mood. He's delighted. He's so touched by their love and he's happy. It gives him joy and pleasure. And when he approaches them, when they approach him, he says, welcome, he welcomes them. And then he says, what can I do for you? So we can be confident at any stage in our devotional life that Krishna is reciprocating with us. And it's not because, of the greatness of the service. That's not the attitude of a devotee. Devotees, of course, undoubtedly, engage in many wonderful services. But Krishna is reciprocating with us because it brings him pleasure. It's what he wants. And his reciprocation on the path of devotion is personal. So he says that, those who surrender unto me, I reciprocate with them accordingly. I reward them accordingly. So Krishna's reciprocation with us is, we can't say, it's not like a law of nature like gravity. So gravity is one size fits all, at least on this planet. Gravity is one size fits all in the sense that each and every one of us, if we were all to hold an object in our hands right now and drop it, it's going to fall to the ground. However, Krishna's reciprocation doesn't follow this one size fits all kind of, across the board kind of rule. It is very personal. So Krishna is personal with us and we are personal with Krishna, and his reciprocation will be personally tailored to how we are engaging with him. Just as we may have different friendships, different relationships with people in this world that have different qualities, so Krishna has a different quality of relationship with each and every devotee, each and every person who approaches him and tries to serve him. So we'll share one verse here from Bhagavad Gita, which really gives a wonderful insight into how Krishna is captured by devotional service, how Krishna allows himself to be endeared to the devotees. So, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyo stitna priyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayi te shuchapyaham. So Krishna says, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion as a friend is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So it's amazing. We can see the way that Krishna makes an exception here, even within the same verse. He says, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion as a friend is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So we're getting a wonderful glimpse into the way that Krishna is connected to those who are striving to serve him. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, one may question here that if Krishna is equal to everyone and no one is his special friend, then why does he take a special interest in the devotees who are always engaged in this transcendental service? But this is not discrimination, it is natural. Any man in this material world may be very charitably disposed, yet he has a special interest in his own children. The Lord claims that every living entity in whatever form is his son, and so he provides everyone with a generous supply of the necessities of life. He is just like a cloud which pours rain all over, regardless of whether it falls on rock or land or water. But for his devotees, he gives specific attention. And this is one of the sweetest purports. It's so sweet. Srila Prabhupada says, this transcendental reciprocation exists because both the Lord and the devotee are conscious. When a diamond is set in a golden ring, it looks very nice. The gold is glorified, and at the same time, the diamond is glorified. The Lord and the living entity eternally glitter. And when a living entity becomes inclined to the service of the Supreme Lord, he looks like gold. The Lord is a diamond, and so this combination is very nice. Living entities in a pure state are called devotees. The Supreme Lord becomes the devotee of his devotees. If a reciprocal relationship is not present because between the devotee and the Lord, then there is no personalist philosophy. In the impersonal philosophy, there is no reciprocation between the Supreme and the living entity, but in the personalist philosophy, there is. This is so beautiful, how Krishna and the devotees are complementing each other, and how Srila Prabhupada says here that the Lord becomes the devotee of his devotees. Of course, the ultimate example of this is Krishna's connection to Srimati Radharani, who is the ultimate devotee, who has the deepest love for him. So the only thing really that we can offer Krishna that he doesn't already possess is our love. So Krishna is Bhagavan. He's the possessor of all opulences. So what can we really give him? But at the same time, Krishna gives us free will. Krishna doesn't automatically program us to love him. In that way, we can say that it wouldn't be very pleasing. It wouldn't be very meaningful if we were all required to love Krishna. Krishna gives us the free will and the choice to engage with him and to try to love him. But how pleased he is when we make that decision. Can anyone remember? Sometimes we can think back in our own lives. Can anyone remember the first time you walked past some flowers and you thought, oh, I think maybe I'll pick one of these flowers and offer it to Krishna? What a beautiful moment that can be. Imagine how pleased Krishna feels in that moment. That rather than going to smell the flower, enjoy it for ourselves, whatever it might be, or just walking past, something stops us. We slow down and we say, okay, I think I might pick this flower and offer it to Krishna. So in this way, we can offer Krishna our love, and this is really the only thing that we can give him that he doesn't already possess. So Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam toyam, right? Offer me a flower, a fruit, water, with love and devotion, and I will accept it. So Krishna doesn't require that fruit, that flower. Think about it right now. There are endless beautiful, it's so beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of a lavender field. A lavender field blows so beautifully in the breeze, and it's this incredible violet purple color. So imagine how many lavender fields are out there in this world right now. Krishna has produced those. Krishna has all of those flowers already. But when we choose to offer it back with love, then that's sort of the medium through which the love is given. The flower is the medium. Just like how we can write someone a very loving letter, expressing all of our appreciation for them, the way that they've affected and touched our life, how we wish to serve them and be a friend to them. We could write a beautiful letter like that. So the paper is just the medium. So in this way, we can say that when we make offerings to Krishna, the actual item that we're offering, the incense, the flowers, the lamp, the water, so on, they are media by which our love can be given. Ananda Manjari, I see that you have your hand raised.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to share like a quick memory that came from me that fits very nicely here. And
please, thank you so much.
And I'm reading right now the Yamuna Devi biography book, and in one of the chapters she was describing how at the beginning of the movement the devotees would go to the supermarket and they would all pray together and offer an entire supermarket, like every single thing that was there in the supermarket that Krishna would accept, of course, no eggs and other things. And so I just that just came to me, and I found it to be so sweet, and also with so much of that surrender and beautiful desire to engage everybody in service, to even imagine like that it's already offered, whoever takes it, it's already Krishna's prasadam. So that's just what I wanted to share.
So nice. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so beautiful to hear how enthusiastic and how creative and thoughtful uh, those pastimes, Yamuna Devi, those pioneering devotees in the movement. And yeah, just this point. Thank you, Ananda Manjari. Yeah, that it's already been offered. It's already been infused with that loving exchange. So yeah, when Krishna smiles in this series of verses here. Text 24. This is so nice. Let's see. So, Lord Krishna, who witnessed the thoughts of all creatures, understood how the ladies had abandoned all worldly hopes and come there simply to see him. Thus, he addressed them as follows with a smile upon his face. So, Krishna smiles when we use our free will to accept and love him as our everything. So, this text 24, it's Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishami Ma Suchaha. It's full surrender in action. And Krishna smiles. So they've enacted this Sarva Dharman Parityaja principle. So Krishna's reaction, once again, just want to mention because it's so sweet to see this exchange and to read of this and hear of this exchange by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the devotees, that Krishna's reaction is not entitled. His reaction is not, of course they've come to me in this way. I'm the Lord. He doesn't have that mood. So just reminded me so much of the form of Lord Jagannath, the special form of Lord Jagannath, Krishna as Lord Jagannath, the way that he is in bliss at the loving exchanges of the devotees. His eyes are widened, he's smiling ear to ear. Of course, the deity of Krishna also has a beautiful smile. But when we see Lord Jagannath, we see it's that very broad kind of smiling ear to ear. His arms are outstretched, and he is so overjoyed at the love of the devotees. So we understand that the form of Jagannath, I remember when I first went to the temple, when I was first, connecting with Krishna consciousness when I was a teenager, and I saw the form of Jagannath, and it just this impression of like, what is this? And I felt really, really happy seeing the form of Lord Jagannath because his smile is so captivating. And we understand through the Krishna book that this special form of the Lord, that this smile is based upon when Krishna experiences the love of the devotees for him. So in Krishna book, we can read about when the Brajbasis, after Krishna has left Vrindavan, the way that they arrange a meeting at Kurukshetra. And this is before Bhagavad Gita Kurukshetra. This is an earlier pastime that takes place on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And so they arrange this meeting, and Krishna comes in his regal attire on a chariot. This is also the basis of Ratha Yatra with Balaram and Subhadra. They arrive on chariots, and Krishna is looking down from the chariot, and the Brajbasis are so pleased to see him. At the same time, he's in a different mood. He has his crown, he has his armor, he has all of his beautiful ornaments. There's not a peacock feather, there's not a Vaijanti mala, there's not the forest garland. They see him in a different way. And so they're pleased to see Krishna, but they're also feeling a little bit forlorn still, that where is our Krishna the way we knew him, with his flute, with his peacock feather? And so Krishna, when he sees the devotees, he knows that they're feeling this way. And he's trying to keep his regal persona in that moment. Yet at the same time, when he looks and he beholds all the devotees, especially the gopis, and he sees Srimati Radharani, he breaks into this incredible smiling ecstasy when he sees the devotees. So this is the Lord. This is what we are hearing about in these pastimes, that Krishna is completely captivated by the love of the devotees. It brings him the highest joy, more than we can even imagine. And Krishna asks them, what can I do for you? So I just want to read one more passage here, and then I really want to hear everybody's reflections and have our open discussion. So this is from Srila Prabhupada's lecture in Montreal, August 23rd, 1968. This is very beautiful and relevant to this passage. So to love Krishna, we don't require anything. Ahetuki apratiyata. It is open for everyone, but we should learn to sacrifice for Krishna. That is the sign of love. Yat karosi yadashnasi yaj juhosi. That means whatever you do, whatever you offer, whatever you give away, whatever austerities you perform, do that as an offering to me. If you are eating, if you simply decide that I shall not eat anything which is not offered to Krishna, then Krishna will understand, oh, here is a devotee. I shall not see anything except Krishna's beauty. Krishna can understand. I shall not hear anything except Hare Krishna and topics on Krishna. These things are there. It does not require that you become very wealthy, very beautiful, or very learned. You have to decide that I shall not do this without Krishna. I shall not do this without Krishna. I shall not mix with any man who is not Krishna conscious. I shall not talk anything which does not speak about Krishna. So, I shall not go anywhere except Krishna's temple. I shall not engage my hands in anything except Krishna's business. In this way, if you train your activities, then you love Krishna, and Krishna is purchased simply by your determination. Krishna does not require anything from you. Simply, he wants to know whether you have decided to love Krishna. That's all. You haven't got to acquire something extra for loving Krishna or purchasing Krishna. Krishna becomes purchased. Therefore, Krishna cannot be purchased. His name is Ajita. He cannot be conquered. But his devotee can purchase him, can conquer him. So, thank you all so much. Eager to hear everyone's reflections. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful class. Wonderful, Dina Bandhu Prabhu. And you're wonderful. The class is wonderful and the presenter is wonderful.
You're wonderful.
This is our sandwich. Beautiful class, beautiful presenter. Okay.
How wonderful is Krishna? We have to get
How wonderful is Krishna?
Nice.
There you go. Yes, nice. Adipusha Prabhu. Was Dina Bandhu Prabhu able to sufficiently glorify Krishna in his class? Unmute yourself, please.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, this world is such a strange place. It's a place without love. It's a place where people go around with a self-interest in a little bubble and are disconnected from each other. And people can be lonely, even in a great crowd. And to hear that there's another quality of life, it's such a relief. And to know that not only people showing their love for Krishna and Krishna showing his love for them, but actually it's Rupa Goswami says that if we reawaken our dormant love for the Lord, then simultaneously our genuine affection for every living entity is there. You know, that actually in our normal healthy condition, we are loving beings and we're capable of caring for everyone and sharing, giving to everyone. And Krishna is very pleased by that. And it's so astounding. You know, it's unheard of in this world. Although they're sort of families and husband and wife and parents and children, somehow or other there's a something lacking because the pure love is not there. There's some selfish motive. But to understand that there is another quality of life, and it's available, and that we can get back to that. Thank you, Krishna, gosh. Because if this world is all there is, then what's the use, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Adi Purusha.
Oh, glory to Prabhupada.
So beautifully spoken about, just, this condition of going through the world and looking for love. It's really beautiful to hear that from you. Thank you. Anyone else have any thoughts, reflections, realizations?
I really liked the point that you made how bhakti has persuasive power over Krishna,
Mm.
and how devotees can purchase Krishna. And yesterday was Akshaya Tritiya. Everybody's into purchasing gold. So we as devotees, that's how we interpret Akshaya Tritiya. We purchase Krishna with our sadhana, with our cooperation with other devotees, with our chanting, service, right? We purchase Krishna. And here comes Jamuna Jaya.
Oh,
Hare Krishna, Dina Bandhu. Thank you for class. So wonderful. I had two reflections. One is based on what Adi just said. When he was saying what a world. And this morning I stopped into the Duane Reade, and as I was at the counter, the person in front of me was talking to the woman on the register, and they were talking about something, and she shook her head and she goes, "That's the world we live in." And as I was walking away, I was reflecting that this is the world we live in, but that's not actually our world. We are in this world, but we're not of this world. And I agreed with her, I agreed with the two of them, but isn't it nice to know that this is the world we live in, but it's not our world, it's not our home. And what a beautiful thing to be reminded of when we see it all, that this is the world, but that's not us. And the other thing I just really appreciated, and I think a lot of people appreciated, just that the object that we offer is the medium, and that it's about actually the heart of the matter. And I love that so much, because I think that encapsulates so much of this pastime. It's like, it's not it's not all the stuff that they're doing. It's the heart of the lives. So thank you so much for reminding us of that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Jamuna Jaya. And I was at the Bhakti Center yesterday and had the good fortune of seeing Jamuna Jaya engaged in service, and definitely that love is there. It's not just the act. It's not just something mechanical. You can definitely feel. I was feeling the love. So
I was a little nervous when I turned around and saw you, and I was like, "Thank you, honor to the service. Thank you."
Yeah, Jamuna Jaya doesn't live in this world. She lives in service.
Yes.
She lives in kirtan. Yeah.
Yes. Please send us an invitation to that world, Jamuna Jaya.
You guys are already there. You're already there. I'm holding on to your feet.
So I saw hands up from Ananda Manjari and Bhima Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, yes. I wanted to add or reflect a point that really struck me, and I find it particularly hopeful, to the point when you made when you spoke about how there is no impediment for our advancement or us coming closer to Krishna. And even if we have anarthas and conditionings, and even in the state of conditioning, what holds us back is the results of them, which is to commit offenses. But as long as we just keep those conditionings at bay without committing offenses, like, that's still not an impediment. And I find that to be incredibly powerful, and also even to remember that Krishna also sees our intentions too, and he carries what we lack. So even, I hope, maybe you can also correct me, that even when we do commit offenses, he still sees our intention to navigate our conditionings and acknowledge them. So if you have anything to add about it, I would like to hear. And still, this point is very powerful for me.
Thank you so much for bringing this up, Ananda Manjari. Yeah, it's a really important thing, because we need to feel encouraged also. We need to feel encouraged in our spiritual aspirations, even when there are impediments there. So, as we understand, that offending devotees is really the only thing that can really, really, impede our advancement. Otherwise, as you said, anarthas may be there, but we can compare it almost to like, so kind of a poorly constructed sort of flimsy dam that may be, there in the presence of a rushing mighty river, something like that. where maybe for some time that dam is there, yet it's like constructed. It's not like this, it's like this, right? So already things are coming through all of the gaps and all of the holes in that dam. The water's already coming through. It's already flowing because it can't be, impeded.
Nice analogy, Dina Bandhu.
So it's already reaching. And
where did you steal it from?
I don't know. I must have heard it somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, and how water is coming through the little gaps in the dam already. And of course, in due course of time, it's just going to come like that. So we don't have to worry about that. And also we can offer our anarthas, we can offer our conditioning, not that we offer it like we're giving that to Krishna, but if we recognize that we have certain anarthas, we can speak very honestly. We can pray to Krishna and say, Krishna, I know I'm still attached to this. I'm still attached to that. Please help me to make sense of all of this. Help me to, if it's something that can somehow be transformed into something that's usable for you, something that's pleasing for you, then allow that to happen. But if it needs to be discarded, please let that happen also.
Repent, Ananda Manjari. Okay, Bhima Prabhu, and followed by Rupesh, followed by William.
Prabhu, thank you so much for emphasizing the importance of the love relationship. That's all we've got to give. That's all that Krishna wants. He's just looking. We actually have to go to Krishna in order for him to give us permission to love him, in the sense that he makes sure that we are clean and pure in our love. I'm a little bit off timed here, and I don't have a lot of time before the conch blows, but let me see if I can remember. Oh geez, Krishna's not allowing me to do it. I'm trying to scroll back to something. I'm in the rain and the screen is freezing on me. All right, well anyways, there's this song. I won't remember the whole lyrics, but a country song says, looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces. You know this one?
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
I can't believe Krishna's not allowing me to get to the lyrics. I'm out in the rain and I'm getting rained on, and so the screen is freezing up on me. Come on, Krishna. Here we go. All right, here we go. Yeah. Oh no, he's not allowing me to. He doesn't want me to sing. Well, anyways, we're looking for. Everybody wants love. We're looking for it elsewhere. We're trying to find it everywhere. We're even trying to find it in the beauty of the world. But ultimately, it's just so wild that we don't even have to mentally or intellectually understand it. Even a child looks for love, and the embrace that Krishna gives us in his pastimes, the fact that he's smiling, he's calling on the phone, on the phone. Listen to me. He's calling using his flute, and he's calling on the phone too. If you're really listening, and I just think it's right, and it's the only right place. It's the only right place to look. So we all must stop looking for love in all the wrong places. Hare Krishna.
In your wonderful baritone, you are assuring us of where we need to look for love and making it clear. So yeah, thank you. It was really nice to hear you sing that song, and also in the perspective of bhakti, it really makes sense.
I think Adipusha Prabhu should include that song in his morning program. Okay, Rupesh.
Oh, Rupesh ji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Forgive my ignorance if I'm speaking something. So here's the thing, Prabhuji. Isn't Krishna the creator of this cosmic universe? And he's the maintainer, and he's also one of the destroyers, or whatever he wants to do. He's the one, right? So if that is the case, then I guess offending this metal world that this is not supposed to be, this doesn't belong to me, is more like an science, right? I feel it's more should be about purifying rather than saying that this world is a place like this, because again, Krishna created this world for us to realize that purify our consciousness, right?
Thank you, Prabhuji. To be honest, I'm not completely clear on the question, but can we continue in the afterglow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Afterglow. So it's darshan time.
Darshan
Camera's
time.
on. Devotee darshan too. So turn it on if you can. Yeah, Poppy, Venetia, nice. Whiskey Das. Here it comes.
Whiskey.
Bhagavatam Sarvasitam Buddham Sundaram Kandar Prakoti Kamina Kiske Sadhu Vala Vijwasya
Welcome to the Afterglow. Okay, we got from Rupesh Prabhu's question that Krishna is the creator, Krishna is the one. So we got that. So what's the question, Rupesh Prabhu?
So, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Krishna has brought us into this world. So, in this world, we have to have a consciousness of serving. Like for example, Prabhu was singing, right, loving this, and then Poppy is saying there's a beautiful rain blessing us, and then Dina Bandhu Prabhu explained an example of the beautiful lavender fields. So we are in this creation of Krishna at this point of time, at this moment. I mean, at some point of time, we always aspire to go to a spiritual Goloka Vrindavan. But at this point of time, the Creator Himself has put us in this world to serve, to purify our consciousness, not on the other way around saying that, hey, this is the world as it is, and I'm something different, I'm not related, or I'm like there is some other place I need to go. Thought of escapism, right? This is how it is, this is how the world it is. Because when we say this is how the world it is, we are in by default either escaping or blaming that this is not the right place, or maybe I'm not in the right place. But accept that Krishna has put us into the right place in the right circumstances, and see how we can purify our consciousness and serve and serve. I think that is how it looks like, right? I might be a bit on the wrong path. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, yeah. No, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah. So, no, this is an important point that definitely, while we are here in this world, while this is our present circumstance, we have all access to the devotional process. We have all access to being able to serve. So much seva comes our way, right? If we're just open to that, and also that, yes, as you said, ultimately our aspiration is Goloka Vrindavan, right? It's a very high aspiration, but that is our ultimate aspiration. But Srila Prabhupada actually explains, he said that for us, it's okay. It's okay to want to go back to Godhead. It's okay to want to go to Goloka Vrindavan. But actually the mood of a very, very advanced devotee is that no matter where they need to be, they say, Krishna, send me there. If I need to do service here, if I need to do service there, as long as I'm not forgetting you, as long as I'm engaged in your service, then that's my only desire. So yes, ultimately Goloka Vrindavan is our desired, destination and goal. But at the same time, actually, the very advanced devotees, they may not even see it in that way. They will say, Krishna, wherever I need to be, let me be there and let me serve. And just another point that comes to mind is that when we are engaged in devotional service, when we're in the Sangha of devotees, when there's chanting going on, when there's dancing going on, when Tulsi Maharani is there, so on and so forth, this is the atmosphere of Vrindavan. And Srila Prabhupada said that on several occasions, that by being engaged in devotional service and by being in a space where the deity is there, Tulsi is there, so on and so forth, this is the atmosphere of Vrindavan. So we can experience a spiritualized atmosphere just in this way, but at the same time, still being here. You can say, still being here in this world, but in that moment, you can say almost that it's beyond. It's something transcendental.
Beautiful point by Rupesh. Beautiful question. Beautiful answer. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Was that okay, Rupesh Prabhu? I hope that addressed your question.
beautiful, Prabhuji. You addressed it like Prahlad Maharaj, who said, where is Narasimha? He's everywhere. He's in each and every pillar. So if he's there everywhere, he's there with us in this material world. Krishna is there with us each and every moment, each and every atom. It's just that we need to purify and accept that this is how we need to serve and understand how best we can serve.
Beautiful point. Thank you, Rupesh Prabhu. And just wanted to share, I just wanted to comment on a few. I just wanted to thank Ananda Manjari for these wonderful notes throughout the whole class. It's very helpful. And Poppy's comment, the rain feels like Krishna's love and blessing. So nice. Yeah, see that the vision of a devotee, that everything can remind us of Krishna. So beautiful. The rain feels like Krishna's love and blessing. And William Prabhu just shared a nice reflection. He said, Jesus said to his disciples, you are in this world, but be not part of it. He also said the world is passing away, and so is its desire, but he that does the will of God remains forever. Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you so much, William. Beautiful. Yeah, by connecting with Krishna, by trying to please him and do his will, then we are experiencing eternity, because what's our ultimate destination? What's our ultimate nature? To serve Krishna. So if we're doing it in this life, we're already experiencing on some level what our eternal life, what real life is on the eternal side, and also that the abhideya, the process of moving toward the ultimate goal, in certain ways looks like the goal at times. So we're chanting Hare Krishna right now, but surely in the spiritual world, chanting is also going on, and singing is also going on, and dancing is also going on.
Srila Prabhupada made a handwritten note in one of the temples in the early days when everybody was young and fired up and inexperienced. And Srila Prabhupada put a note on the wall that says, number 1, health. Number 2, chanting. Number 3, service. Number 4, reading. Srila Prabhupada lined it up for us. Okay. He who serves the Lord remains forever. Hare Krishna. Very nicely put, Dinabandhu Prabhu. We want to remain forever. Hare Krishna. Okay. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you, Dinabandhu Prabhu. Beautiful class. Thanks, everybody, for participating, giving your attention to Krishna, giving us your association. It's a blessing. The biggest blessing is the association of the devotees. Have a wonderful day and see you again tomorrow and every day. Hare Krishna.